In the northern reaches of this land, where dawn's first light drapes the hills in mist, there is a forest that none can truly name, a place of hush and of whispers that slip between words. They call it the Whispering Forest. Yet the villagers insist it's not a place for friendly tales. They say the trees themselves remember every soul who steps across the threshold. And if you truly listen, you may hear the forest speak back. Tonight, you and I step beside Ilara, a young woman with shadows in her eyes and questions heavy in her heart. She left her home long ago, chasing dreams of a father lost to these very trees. Animal tracks worn by deer and fox mark her path, but underfoot the earth feels alive, soft with ancient secrets. Ilara's breath catches as she reaches the forest's edge. Mist coils at her feet like ghostly fingers, curling around mossy stones. Before her, the trunks stand tall and silent, sentinels draped in emerald moss and lichen older than any story. She steps forward, and the world she knew vanishes, dissolves into a hush so profound she feels her heartbeat slow. She recalls her father's last words before he ventured into these woods, a whisper of warning and promise. Let the woods speak to you if you dare to listen. His voice felt warm as hearthfire, but rooted in mystery. Now, Ilara walks beneath arching boughs, tracing a path only half written on her star map. Each breath draws in damp air, scented of pine, of earth, and something else she cannot yet name, an undercurrent of challenge, maybe even of danger. Sunlight filters through the canopy in shafts of gold, scattering like fallen embers on the forest floor. Leaves tremble overhead, as though carrying voices she cannot quite decipher. Ilara pauses by a thick oak, its trunk wide, its bark gnarled beyond memory. She presses her palm against its rough surface, feeling a subtle tremor beneath her fingertips, like the faint pulse of life itself. "Father," she whispers, "I have come." She waits, but only silence answers. She kneels beside the oak's sprawling roots. The forest floor is carpeted in fallen leaves, still damp from last night's rain. Each leaf seems to glow faintly under her lantern's soft glow, as if recalling a history of footsteps that walked here long before her. Her fingers brush aside moss to reveal a single carved symbol, a spiral enclosing a single eye. Ilara's breath catches. This was her father's mark, his promised sign that she was on the right path. She traces the spiral with her fingertip. The moment she touches it, the forest exhales around her, a rush of wind that rustles leaves into a hushed chorus. In that hush, she hears a question forming in her mind, an ache she can't quite name. "Why have you come?" Her heart pounds, yet her voice remains steady if barely audible. "I seek the truth of where you are and of why you whispered that final night." A sudden twig snaps. She whirls, lantern raised, eyes straining through the mist. But all she sees are gnarled trunks and a flicker of moonlight on fallen leaves. No shape emerges, no footstep passes. Ilara takes a slow breath, her chest rising and falling in the forest's rhythm. She knows fear will serve only to slow her step now. She steels herself and continues deeper, each footstep echoing softly on a bed of decaying fern. As she ventures further, the path twists through stands of birch whose silver trunks glow like candles in the gloom. Ferns brush against her legs as she passes, each frond quivering as though alive. She senses eyes watching. Perhaps a deer stepping back between trees, perhaps something more, perhaps the forest itself. High above, a lone raven calls, its note dark against the hush. Ilara shivers but moves on. The path narrows. Roots twist like serpents beneath her boots, threatening to trip her if she missteps. Each breath becomes a mindful meditation. Inhale, pine, earth, exhale, calm, resolve. She tells herself she is not alone, her father's voice, his promise, guiding her onward. Suddenly, the forest opens to a small clearing. In its center stands a moss-covered stone, ancient, weathered, and ringed with pale mushrooms that glow softly under the lantern's light. Elara approaches, kneels, and wipes moss from the stone's face. Intricate runes ripple along every edge, runes she recognizes from her father's journal. Each one pulses faintly, as if awakened by her presence. Her breath slows. She leans close and whispers, "Speak, if you are here." For a moment nothing stirs, then a soft murmur of wind through the clearing, almost like a sigh. She shivers, senses a presence beyond sight. The clearing grows quiet, so quiet that the forest's hush feels like a held breath. And in that stillness, Elara hears the faintest of whispers, her father's voice echoing in her mind. "Listen to the hush. It will guide you to my secret." Her heart quickens with both dread and wonder. She stands, lantern held high, and steps back onto the root-laced path. Each step feels guided now by something unseen, a question forming in her chest. What secret lies hidden beneath these stones? She exhales and presses deeper into the whispering wood.